Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Chemaissem. I am with you today. Our discussion will be about the fear of death and how can we eliminate that fear and what distractions or what can we create in order to move past fear, and how can we understand fear and accept that fear is a part of our life. I hope you enjoy. Please like the page. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. You will find my story under Beyond NLP Coaching. Looking forward to it. Let's discuss death. What is death? Why is it that everybody is so afraid of death? And it comes back down to one simple thing. Like anything new in your life, you're afraid of the uncertainty, the unknown, what's going to happen next. And pretty much nobody's really went down into the grave and come back into life and to tell you what happened on the other end. Nobody did that. We only know what we know from religious values, beliefs, and the stories in history and centuries we've heard before. But the true matter is, it's just the uncertainty of the unknown. And did you even know how your life was going to be when you had your first child? Did you know how your life was going to be when you married that partner? Did you even know how your life was going to be when you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, or 50s? But you were okay with that. You rode with that. You went. And so it's interesting to say that you were okay with the uncertainty of life, jumping into the cold water and learning how to swim with something that you really desired and you really wanted. But the only thing is, death ends everything. Death ends your life. Death ends your story. But that's not really true. It ends your living perspective in the now, in the present, for the ones that are going to still be alive. But it doesn't close off everything for you. You see, if you choose to utilize death as a driver and push fear on one side and not allow fear to drive your life anymore, and you allow fear to be your passenger, and you begin to drive death and fear and going to the unknown, the uncertainty of what could happen, your life automatically begins to change. And I'll tell you why. The first things first. If you want your life to change and you take on board and become the driver and push death on one side and it becomes your passenger and you're like, screw this, I'm keeping you on one end and it's about me right now and I'm driving this fear and fear is no longer going to drive me and it's not going to control me. You have now created an open space for growth. You have created the Y factor of your life to become so enhanced, so massively big that your perseverance and determination to survive becomes at a higher level, a higher point. Apologies. Sorry. This light likes to switch off. And so going back to that, my point to you, if you take on board and become the driver of your life and you drive fear instead of fear driving you of death, your Y factor grows. And when your Y factor grows, you will feel so enhanced, so motivated to stay alive, right? So you live in that survival mode, let's just call it. And what happens is you notice that every day is actually a blessing and not a curse. And you don't wake up so stressed. You don't wake up so nervous with anxiety and fear overriding you. Oh my God, the list is endless. Your priorities change. You change. The way your perception to living and survival mode changes. And that's what you need to continue to grow, right? So then if today you had a mistake or you made a mistake, whatever it is, you yelled at your child or you had conflict with your partner or you weren't even able to sustain your emotions or even express them openly how you would like, you've got a chance again to rectify, to fix, to repair, to reflect, to grow, to change. So that way the outcome of your life, how it's going to end tomorrow, is going to end differently. And it is true, because your life outcome, your goals will not be what you oppose them to be when you're in fear, because you're frozen in time. And as I said before, the driver of your life is fear, but the moment you take on board and push the fear on one side, death is no longer a problem, because now you've got a choice. Now you've got a choice to leave a legacy behind. Now you've got a choice to seriously sit with your bloody self and reflect. Reflect on the pain, the trauma, the triggers, whatever it is, wherever fear of death has come from, whether it could be your culture, your religion, your values, it doesn't really matter. We are all going to experience death. And the moment you accept that death is a part of society and that death should be your driver, death will no longer be driving you. You'll be driving death. So that way, when you do leave this earth into the uncertainty, into the unknown, into the uncertainty and the unknown, you now have a purpose. You now have a goal. You know what you'd actually truly want. And you know what you're going to leave behind. The memories, the journals, the stories, the pictures, the photos that you endlessly take. That's what's going to be left. Your words, your energy, the things that you said to people to make a change. Instead of giving them pain through your words, instead of even showing your pain to others, because they're already holding onto their own burden. By you sharing your experience in a positive way, you're leaving something greater than you and I. And then you leave this world into the uncertainty, the unknown, but you allow something to stay when you go. And even though we don't know how it's going to be like when we die, but we do know one thing for sure. And I'm not sure if many of you have experienced it, but if you have experienced death in your family, you see them in your dreams, you sense them, you feel them. So somehow their soul or spirit, whatever it is, after their physical body has deteriorated underground or disappeared or dissipated, there is a presence of them still with you. The memories, as I said, the pictures, the journals, their blessings, their words. So next time, before you allow fear to override your life and drive you, take on board back yourself. Take back the key. Take back control of what you truly own, your identity, and drive fear, push fear on one side as a passenger, and drive yourself as to be in control. And don't be so fidgety and being so in control that you lose control, but be in control enough to only utilize control when you need to, but also loosen it up enough that when you need to let go, you can. So just like if you have ever experienced fishing or you've done fishing before, something I don't personally like, I don't really have the patience for it, but the concept of fishing is when you throw in the line, you're waiting for the fish to hook. But if you pull it too fast, the fish is not going to hook on. And if you leave it for too long, the fish will take the bait and move away. And it's the same with self-control in life. Give in a little, but take back a few times. But don't give in completely, and don't take back and hold things close to your heart too close either. So make sure that you can reach that medium of give and take, and that creates that balance in your life. And you'll notice that now you're in control, and control enough to let go and loosen and bring back and forth whenever you need to. So next time you choose to take full control over your life, just remember one thing, that it's okay to give in and to take back. Just keep your line not too close to your heart and not too loose that you lose yourself. So then the time that you feel anxiety is about to brawl up and you're afraid of the uncertainty, the unknown, remember the times of your life when things were uncertain, like when you drove to the doctor and you noticed, wow, I got there, but you weren't so worried about me having an accident on the way because you were certain enough that you needed to get there to get checked up and to see what's going on with you, right? Utilize that as a metaphor in your life, in your everyday life. Fear. Don't let fear drive you. It's just in your mind to some degree that creates the amygdala to switch on and create that freezing response or that fight response, that paralyzation. Let it go. Start remembering the times you accepted things for the way they are.